Welcome to Frazzled About Education. Most people call me Frazz, and you might have seen me doing a lot of different things. I often talk to Trump and other politicians like their kindergartners. I was a teacher. I taught kindergarten on Zoom one time. I shared moments from my classroom and words my kindergartners would say. I was then a potato-obsessed pregnant lady, and I ate lunches in my car, in my classroom. I also gentle parented your conservative aunts and uncles, much to the dismay of Elon Musk. These days, I usually show up on your feed in short videos breaking down whatever fresh chaos is happening in education that day, and today we're launching a show! What I fell in love with about content creation is the community that we make when we feel very, very far apart, or when everything feels like a lot or no one understands. And that's really what I want to bring into the show. Every week, we're going to do an education news roundup and recap, and we're going to sit down and define the terms that people throw around a lot in the news and in policy that I'm like, people don't know what you're saying. And I'll still be doing short videos that you can drop in your group chat or share to your story. And I'll still be doing Substacks and deep dives here that you can quote whenever you're hanging out with friends or commenting at your local school board meeting. But here on YouTube, we're going to be doing stuff that you can't get anywhere else. So if you're new here, hi, like I said, I'm a former teacher, a mom, and I stepped away from the classroom in 2022 after my daughter was born. And teaching was my dream. I woke up every single morning wanting to do it. And motherhood was my other dream. And I also was just like, I was so excited to do both. But one thing turned into another, and blah, blah, blah. I decided to stay home for a while. And for the first time, I could talk about education without worrying about my principal getting called, or my school being doxxed, or without somebody trying to get me fired, all of which happened when I was a teacher. And I've gone a little crazy with the privilege of that. When Trump was elected this time, there was so much happening every single freaking day. And I felt like a lot of people were talking about news, but not education news. So what started as explaining things and bringing attention to what's happening turned into conversations with politicians and people who can like actually do something about these systems. I've always said teaching is political. And if we listen to teachers, we wouldn't be in the freaking mess that we're in right now. It's like education is something that politicians run on, but they don't really seriously tackle it once they're in office. And politics is not something that should just happen to teachers. It's something that teachers should be at the table for every single decision that affects them and their students. And then the fact that schools are like a microcosm of society. So like 90% of our kids are served in public education. Anything going on in the news can really be viewed through the lens of how it affects schools. So it's really important to me to connect the dots of everything that's going on. They are attacking education. I mean, they are dismantling it, defunding it, trying to just rip everything about public education apart. And historically, that is exactly the kind of thing that authoritarians and fascists do, but usually they try to do it quietly or like in policy language or memos or school board meetings. Just anywhere they think nobody is watching is really where they operate. But now we're watching. Short form is great and I still love it and I'm still going to do it. It's how I flag what's happening. It's my favorite thing to do. But with midterms coming up and another election season way closer than we think, we need to be constantly talking about what's happening and what's at stake and pointing back to teachers as the experts that they are. And as for me, I will never stop pushing for teachers to be included in every single decision that affects them and their students. So welcome to Frazzled About Education. I'm really glad you're here. Let's start episode 1. Oh my gosh.